Y'all, ma, da. What's goody to the guys and the goddesses, and what's popping to the people? I am a mess today, so I'm gonna try to make it work. Tired and have not been properly medicated and unappreciated and reevaluated. Damn it. So I got let me see here, man. We got a few things we're gonna do today, but I need to get this together and move this out your way so I can load up all these clips that I didn't get a chance to load yet. While I wait on y'all to decide if y'all gonna deal with me today. But then again, I am 10 minutes late, so y'all probably was already here. My apologies. It's been real today, is all I can say. But we're going to do our best to get it done. I am just not quite in the mode yet, y'all. But if I can get there, it's going to be a good one. So, Hakeem thought this was tomorrow, but I'm gonna tune in. So, who is that? Your face ain't showing. Whoever that is. Now uh, it's always Tuesday nights, and then we go to Clubhouse after this. Y'all, Miss Franklin. Okay. Peace, Queen. This is a good night to tune in. Because whenever I can get these slides loaded up, it's gonna be a good one. I got something for y'all. All right. Because I had to do this. It seems like every time I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for a show, y'all do something crazy and help me out. So I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm kind of disappointed in us, man. We got so everybody got an opinion on the let me see, is this the right one? Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole situation. And most of the opinions is bullshit. I don't got, as they say, a dog in the fight, because y'all know I don't really rock with rap music anymore. So I really could care less to an extent. But right is right and wrong is wrong, damn it. And that's just the way we doing it. So when I put the post up and I commended J. Cole for being the bigger man and squashing the beef. Now, first and foremost, I need to put a disclaimer out there because I believe I gave some people the wrong impression. If it was me, I wouldn't have squashed shit. I'd still be burying that fucker right now. But I think it was super dope that J. Cole was more mature than me and most of Black America. He took what they call the high route. But more so, I don't think we are even, and this is gonna sound bad, but I don't even think we're mentally capable of evaluating that much differently as a whole. And that's some sad shit that I don't even want to admit. But it's where I'm at right now because I seen everybody called a black man who was attempting to be the bigger man. They called him weak. They called him soft. They called him scary. All of this type of shit. And I think that's horrible, man. Like, are we that gone, bro? That we need to promote controversy between two black men. And now, my thing is, now that's the one thing I do. I probably should have said that too. I don't really rock with hip hop that much, but I still watch battle rap. So for me, I would have loved to see whoever was about to get smoked. It didn't matter to me. I don't have a favorite. So I would have loved to see the correspondence, the back and forth. Matter of fact, I had just hit my partner about it the day before, and we was going back and forth on his opinion, kind of excited about it. Once J. Cole fired back. I think a couple things. First of all, the fact that he fired back first, that kills anybody saying he was scared or he was a coward, which people said anyway. But I don't see how. Like, if you heard his response wasn't in no danger. Kendrick went first, then he went. Kendrick hit harder, J. Cole hit way more. So I'm okay with whoever you say was winning that. But J. Cole definitely wasn't in no danger. So now what this man said was, and I don't know how many people, I think most people did what we mostly do. We heard he apologized and we took to social media. I don't think a lot of people actually heard the apology. Because he said it fucked with his spirit. Now, I'm somebody who's big on paying attention to the things that come out of people's mouth. He said it messed with his spirit once he listened to it again. So now you got to think about this. And then he was at his concert. He said, how many of y'all think Kendrick Lamar one of the dopest ever? His audience went crazy. So now pay attention to this. He asked his audience how many of them think Kendrick is dope. The whole audience said, hell yeah. So that means even though they think Kendrick dope, they were still at his show. That's one thing. The other thing is, okay, would all of those people still think Kendrick was dope? Let's just say 3 songs into this and J. Cole is handing them some. What happens to Kendrick then? Now, we would say, well, what if J. Cole do so much damage that Kendrick lose his fan base? And then y'all would be geek like, shit, fuck him. So what? That's what he get. Okay, but Kendrick got a family, wife and children, or whatever the fuck. He got people that are riding on the fact of him being successful. Now, I know this is all about choice, but my point is, if J. Cole could look at it like, I don't want to be responsible for taking off another black man table. I don't want to be responsible for maybe our crews take it too far. Because y'all know, in like 80-90% of all rap beefs, the beefs start with the crews of the rappers, not the rappers. So that's another thing we're not evaluating. So it's not even if, because I heard a lot of people say they was 2 dudes that, you know, because they positive, they was gonna keep it on wax. So it was, ain't no guarantee they was gonna keep it on wax, because in the first verse, both of them talked about guns and violence. So how can we guarantee we're gonna keep it on wax? Now the other thing is, both of them, I done heard them say either in songs or in interviews that they still got guys that's with the shits. They just not. So when I'm a positive rapper that came from the hood, my dudes that's with me not positive rappers. They just with me. And a lot of times they with me because I'm a positive rapper, but they not. So that's good to have them there. So my point is, it don't have to be the rappers. It could easily be they crew, they friends, or they hitters. You know, this shit be so crazy. So like say, now, J. Cole just responded. Now, Kendrick might come back. And it might be a line in there that say something about, because J. Cole said something about his guys wanted, but he said no. Okay, so now, what if Kendrick Lamar in his response say something about, you said your guys was gonna do Blase Skippy, all of them will get fucked up, blah, blah, blah. You know how rappers go back and forth. So now, one of J. Cole guys out, and he just heard that verse, he on 20. Now he might walk past and see a nigga with a Kendrick Lamar shirt on and clean him up. I've been in situations where I've been that guy. You say something slick about one of mine, and I might just bump into you off the rip and clean you up. Or somebody might bump into me and try to clean me up. It go past the artist. And fans don't give a fuck because your life ain't affected. You're a fucking cheerleader. You get to sit behind your computer and give uneducated ass opinions about millionaires. And that's fine with you. But since when has it been bad for a black man to use maturity and discernment? The man said he listened to the lyrics, it affected his spirit. He said it was corny. You got to think about what he's saying. He's saying, I'm too mature to feed into this. He said, I let the fans hype me up to go to war. And that's easy to happen. You might not even be paying this nigga no attention. Somebody hit you up like, man, have you seen this shit? Seen what? Kendrick Lamar just dropped a verse on you. The fuck? What's up with this nigga? So you listen to the verse and it's like, wow, he busting. Then you go on social media, you go on Twitter, you go on Snap. It's everywhere, the whole world. They doing reaction video. What? Now you know you got that torch. What you supposed to do? Some people say he should have never got involved in the first place. Now, I don't think that's a bad statement. I just think it's unfair. Because I'm an artist. And I know your artistry is emotional. So, like, there's no way. I'm conscious. I'm a teacher and a panther. You drop a verse on me, I have something for your ass in the morning. And I'm positive. You say something about me, my shit will be done by the morning. And on every streaming platform. So this competitive. Hip-hop is like basketball to an extent. It's very competitive because your craft is on the line. Your craft is connected to your ego. So I think it's not a bad point to say he shouldn't have fired in the first place, but I think it's a bit unfair to him because he's an artist. But either way, we all have been upset, caught in the heat of the moment, and said or did something that we later on regretted. That's called human nature. We all then crossed that line, fired up. Then as soon as we calm down, we're like, oh, I shouldn't have went there. So he looking at the tweets, he looking at the blogs, the whole fucking hip-hop culture. You looking at somebody with an unblemished record. In 10, 12, however fucking many years he been rapping, his record been untarnished. Now, somebody fire at him, and it's like, do he know I'm that nigga? So instantly, your pride gonna be on the line, because it's like, as an artist, you pray for that moment where somebody step out of line and you have to put them in line with that microphone. And so he reflexed and he did it. But he been positive so long, listening to him say certain things probably fucked with him. Because I be that way. I be fired up when I'm teaching. And as soon as it come out, I think like, that may be an overtop. Fuck it, we gone now. It happens. So I think it's dope as fuck that he took that route. What I have a problem with is y'all. Why the fuck y'all would prefer to see two black men try to destroy each other? I heard all of this. It would have been good for hip hop and all this type. Man, this shit is crazy. That what's good for hip hop is two black men down on each other. Y'all think that's what's gonna save this trash ass era of hip hop? No. Now, and see, that's the thing. I could see if when they came out, it was straight lyrical, but it wasn't. They forgot all that pro-black shit, all that Israelite shit, and they went straight to the gang banging and the guns. So it was gonna go there. They positive rappers. That don't mean they gonna goddamn it still get busy. I'm positive. Try me, I'll break your jaw. So that positive shit, y'all take that a little too far. That means I have the heart that's behind my people, and I want to spread a good message and spread love and show my people a different route. Yes, that does not mean you cross the line. I won't smoke your ass. Everybody don't got that thing where they can just pretend you ain't just say what the fuck you just said. So I think it was dope. But we got some issues to address because y'all was offended that two black men didn't want to fight. And now I'm fucking offended. Almost every thread I went on, mostly black men, and it was a couple queens who like, I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick. This is a sidebar. But I'm finna stop putting y'all on Front Street. Because I see this thing going on where everybody's so used to me. I'm the type of person, I always got my own lane and I stay in it. So y'all used to me not giving a fuck about what you're doing. Because that's my personality. So when y'all see me all of a sudden, and I'm so outspoken on some of the things that you care about, and you know I used to care about, y'all get offended and your feathers get ruffled. So I've been tending to let certain shit slide, and then y'all about to turn this shit to a water park. So it's too much fuckery going on, and too many people acting like they don't see it. And it's on both sides. It's with the kings and the queens. So tonight we're not sparing nobody. Log off, leave me up here by myself, tell people I ain't shit, do what you got to do to make yourself feel better. But tonight I'm snitching on everybody. Sorry, not sorry, because it's too much fuckery going on. Like, we doing everything ass backwards, but we so cocky we can't be told we wrong. And most of the time, Black America is fucking wrong and don't got a fucking clue. How about that? I said it. Let me say it again, because I know some people like, I know he ain't say that. And some people like, well, so let me say it a fucking again so you understand I mean it. Most of the time, most of Black America doesn't have a fucking clue about much of anything, unless it's rap music, sports, or twerking. Those three things we know every fucking thing about. And fashion that we don't control. These things we are masters of. Doesn't help us at all, but we mastered it. So here's the thing. Ain't nothing wrong with well, let me start over. It's understandable that most of us, and when I say most of us, I'm saying there's an 80%, are products of our environment. It is a scientific and sociological fact that environments shape personalities. This is statistically proven. Your environment will mold you as a person. So if you grow up in hyper aggressive areas, you will be aggressive. If you grow up in poverty, then you will take on some of the traits and behaviors of poor people. And so now I'm trying to figure out where to start because we have to break this thing down. So far, it's ridiculous and it's got so many little tentacles. A large percentage of it is hip hop. So I'm just trying to see what's a starting point. We'll say, fuck it. Just in general, in our situation in America, let's go back to poverty in our situation. First of all, the number one problem is we don't have a comprehension of what our situation is. So let me help us out for a second. Let's start. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm extremely fucking proud of that title because it says so much shit. Now, let's start with mental slavery. What does that really mean? Well, we know what slavery is. It's being confined, it's forced confinement. It's forced imprisonment, forced confinement. Okay, so now apply that to your mental. You are being forced to mentally comply to a certain thing, but you don't even understand it so much to the point where you think it's natural. So let's go back to this Negro. So I think they keep it said it removed my audio. My fault, y'all. Let me see if I can get this. I'm gonna put it on I'm finna put it on this other side so y'all can see it real quick. Hold up, wait a minute. Give me 1 second. Because this is important and I need y'all to get the visuals. Okay, here we go. So now, wow, there we go. That flyer banging. Mental slavery and material prostitution. So we're just gonna go around the board with the flag with this and pick it apart. So now we started with J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. You know, that's our little background shot. And I think both of these brothers are positioned to be a template for a new era, for a potential new era in rap music. But I don't think it will ever happen because I told y'all last year, to be honest with you, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me, I think Kendrick Lamar is a fraud. I don't know enough about J. Cole, so I ain't going to speak on him. But I think Kendrick Lamar is a fraud. I last year, if y'all remember, I put my project up against his and I smoked him. But I also evaluated his album cover and did a breakdown of his album cover and showed y'all all the bullshit in there. Kendrick Lamar is, I don't like this term, but he's what y'all would consider an industry plant. I think the whole industry is an industry plant. But if there's such a thing, he definitely is one. But either way it go, moving right along. Now, it's going to be hard for y'all to see what's up in the top corner, but that's Not Sexy Red. Yeah, so anyway. Now, Not Sexy Red, as usual, she got her legs cocked and she got her stuff showing because she wants to give the black women the impression that's the only time you matter is when you're naked and being promiscuous. That is the total message for black American women coming from most places. It ain't just hip hop. It's coming from damn near everywhere. And y'all fell for it. But it ain't all y'all fault, and we're going to deal with that tonight too. But it's definitely some ownership going to have to be taken in there. Because I see, and I'm going to take this thing down when I say this. Hold on. I'm running into too many circles of people who, it's like the jig is up. The cat is out the bag that the current status of the black American woman is that there is a huge, and I mean enormous, issue with accountability. You have been the target of complaints and the scapegoat for so long that now when your ass is actually guilty, you don't want to own it. And it's getting bad. It's getting to the point where you can't even tell the queen she did anything without a fight. And we must kill that energy because you all spend most of the time with the children. So you cannot be someone that can't be corrected when you're raising young kings and queens. They're here to teach us. So you must be able to be corrected because we're going to fuck up and their beauty and innocence is going to redirect us and make us better. You can't be a better leader if you can't listen to your children. So we're going to need the queen to get past this. I can't be corrected shit. It's essential that we all start to take accountability, but we need our women to be able to say, you know what? You're right. I was wrong, baby. You know what? I honestly, baby, I didn't even look at it that way. I got you. You upset, baby? I didn't mean to upset you. Let me take care of this. Let's get back to that. And you'll find that it's some appreciative men out here. I know we fucked up too. I'm going to deal with us. But it starts with the queen. Because the black man go outside every day. As soon as he walk out the door, the whole world want to see him fail. The only solace is in the house. So he cannot go out there and war all day and then come home to something that can't be corrected. Or come home to a situation where he can't find comfort because he can't speak his mind. That's not good coming from females who keep saying the men is getting too soft. You can't complain that the men are getting too soft when the women can't take direction. We have to get to a space of unanimous maturity. I really thought that they were going to collab together. Never thought they were going to be beefing. Yeah, I didn't think that, I mean, like I say, I don't really watch them like that, but it's crazy that we tried to promote that. But now, so, and y'all, please, man, please hit the like, please hit the share. We're going to cook tonight and somebody somewhere need to hear this. And if you feel so inclined, join the Patreon and bless you for a donation down at the bottom to show you how to get in tune with us. Now, back to what we got going on. Now, listen. Oh, let me put this back. Because I really want this up here for the visual. All right, so now, here's a huge problem. What is this? What is this? You are looking at two people who don't have a fucking clue who they are. Why do black women see it fit to put blonde weave in their head? Now, I know there's 1,000 justifications, and you think all of them are justified. So before we go there, let's just do something else. You're what Dr. Clark Anderson used to say all the time. You are a special people. You have a gift from God that no one else has. And real quick, this is a sidebar. I told everybody next Thursday we're breaking down that movie 3-Body Problem. I started it last night. Take y'all ass and watch that shit. Now it might be so heavy you don't know what's going on, but just watch it. So when we get to talking about it, you know what I'm talking about. Because that shit deeper than the Matrix. I'm gonna tell y'all some shit. That shit deeper than the Matrix. But what I'm saying is that movie is heavily about who you are. And it shows you how important it was for them to figure out who you were. And it shows you that they could not gain control until they figured out who you were, then created the Matrix. The Matrix was created for you. That's why you needed to be mentally enslaved and turned into material prostitutes, i.e. the Matrix. The Matrix was your mental enslavement, designed specifically for you. Now, back to the melanin. Melanin is, for the sake of this moment, pitch black is where everything comes from. Pitch black is melanin. So when you're looking out and they tell you outer space and you're looking at it pitch black and all the stars, outer space is melanated. Isn't that something? Which means these things that y'all call planets are surrounded by melanin, which means everything that was created came out of melanin. That's what you are. Now, when you see, they convinced us through Hollywood or something, and they made it sexy. It's the blonde hair, blue eyes thing. And Hitler was going for the blonde hair, blue eyes. Well, here's why Hitler was doing it. And here's why they taught you to do it. Blonde hair and blue eyes is recessive. That means you are getting away. The lighter the color is, the further away from melanin you're becoming. Remember, I started this conversation by telling you melanin is a gift from God. Yes, the God, the one and only, the big dog, numero uno, El Nino. He specifically created melanated-based entities, demigods, if you would, to navigate the next phase of existence. And so you have black, you have white, and then there's you. Everything is black and white. And then there's you, brown, the solution. And so when you take the gift that was given to you specifically by God, El Nino, the big dog, and you blind it out, or you hide it, or you cut it, or you don't claim it, you are literally giving God the middle finger. So looking at a melanated goddess that has bleached her fucking head blonde and then added blonde weave, you are doing the exact opposite of why God sent you here. And then you put them big ass eyelashes on your eyes. That's not natural. That's not natural from who you are. The big ass eyelashes go with the people with the blonde hair. That's not you. So what makes the black woman think that she should be blonde with contacts? The same thing that makes her think that she's only valuable when she's naked with her legs open. We have to understand that this is a concoction. There is a thing. There is a purpose for convincing a black queen that she should be blind with colored contacts. And you justify it and you call it beauty. How is it people that consider themselves Christians or people or believers in God can convince themselves that looking the opposite of how God sent you here is godly? This is coming from religious people and people who tell you they're spiritual, but change everything about themselves and vibrate at the lowest frequency. This is sheer mad. Look at her at the top here, squatting down with her legs open. She ain't doing nothing different. Lil' Kim did it. Meg Thee Stallion did it. They all do it. Why? Why is every female artist got to come spread her legs, get naked, and put a blind wig on? Why? And y'all don't notice that that's a thing. This, hold on. Let's cook. Where we go right here? Let's cook. All right, is this it? In 2023, black consumer spending on beauty products amounted to $9.4 billion, with dollar unit and household growth outpacing growth for the U.S. at large. This growing cohort currently accounts for an estimated 14.4% of the U.S. population, which is a 32% increase since 2000. Now, I done heard y'all 1,000 times tell me we used to be kings and queens. We did. Some of us. And I heard y'all say the black woman was the goddess, and some dudes say the black woman is God, and I used to say that, and all of this thing. Okay, so if we so beautiful, why are we spending $9.4 billion on beauty products? Why are the most beautiful people on the planet spending the most money on beauty products? And some of the poorest people on the planet too. Beauty products. Interesting. The hair weave industry is a rapidly growing market with global sales estimated to reach $6 billion by 2026. According to market research biz, the global hair weave market was valued at $5.4 billion in 2019 and is projected to grow at 4.9% during the forecast period 2020 to 2026. So in the next 2 years, they're projecting us to spend $6 billion a year on weave. Now, here's the thing. So, apparently, obviously, this is for black women. It doesn't say that, but we know who's buying the weave. It's black women. So, you can't even include black men into this. Just black women alone are by 2026 will be spending $6 billion on fake hair. Why does the black woman feel she needs to spend $6 billion on fake hair? That's in 1 year. So in the next 12 months, the black woman is going to spend $6 billion on fake hair. Why? And see, this is the thing we don't want to deal with. And I'm going to tell it today because I've been with you sisters. And the more expensive the weed, the whiter you act. Yeah, I fucking said it. Y'all got that expensive, that good shit. And you get to flicking your hair like white girls and you get to doing all of it. What the fuck is y'all doing all that for? Why? What the fuck is you doing all of this shit for? For what? For what? You get mad at it if you want to. I'm going to tell it. You ain't got no goddamn business spending $6 billion on fake hair. You know why you don't have no business? I don't want to hear it's my hair, it's beauty. That's cap. That's cap. You don't even know why you wear weave. You wear weave because they used to make fun of your hair and call you nappy headed. So they made it to where when you showed up for a job with them two little nappy pigtails, they made you feel inadequate. So then they opened up the wig market. So at first you was going to put a wig on so you could have nice hair like the white lady Miss Jones. Then you go into the job thing with your nice little hair and your nice outfit, and they don't look at you like a nigga no more. And so first, we blew up the wig industry. We don't make wigs, we just buy them. That's the most important part that I really just think we don't pay attention to. You cannot say you don't like the way the world is when you fund the way the world is. You cannot say how the police treat our people when you fund the way they treat us. You cannot say you don't like the way Black America is when you fund it. Because all of these habits that we have that we can't seem to control, we don't financially benefit from any of them. So it's one thing to say you're gonna spend $6 billion on weave. It's another thing to say that $6 billion is going to people who's are invested in keeping you sleep. Because there's no way you should be spending $6 billion on something that does not improve us as a race when we're getting fucked over every turn. But if I can make you feel inadequate about who you are, then you'll spend all of your time, energy, and money trying to fix who you are. So what white America did was continually remind Black America that they weren't pretty enough, they weren't wealthy enough, and they weren't smart enough. And they did it in every movie for 40 plus years of cinema. I would say Black women gave birth to all hair types. Our hair is part of our spirituality. Tons of women wear weave, not just Black women. It's sad to wear to be like it should be done because you want it done. Our hair, our crowns, O King. We must dress it up. It's our spirit, but we must do it smartly, not with harsh chemicals. This is what I'm saying. You got to hear what I'm saying, Queen. You're spending $6 billion a year to change a gift. What you don't understand is that rough, coarse hair that y'all trying to hide, that's a blessing from God. You have direct connection to God when you got your hair out. So when you put that wig on or when you hide it with that weave, you just cut off your spirituality. That's why the Rastas don't cut their locks. Hair is spiritual. This is a direct connection to the cosmos. So I'm not telling you don't beautify yourself. I'm not telling you don't dress your hair up. I'm saying stop spending $6 billion with your slave master. That's what I'm asking you to do. We don't control no weave. And we got to take it back to the origins. This thing started with us feeling inadequate in this country trying to survive while they're uplifting white women as the symbol of beauty and looking down on you. So it was a thing, and I'm finna get to the men too. It was a survival thing. So I understand why it happened in the first place, and it probably was no other way. But now let's fast forward to modern times. We're not in that situation no more, so we got to get wise. We cannot be running around blind with contacts. You know why? Because to you it's fashion. They look at that and they know better. They know exactly who you are. You don't. So when they look around and they can see Black American women blonde with contacts, so that means you want to change the color of your hair. Then you want to use fake hair to make it look like ours. And then you want to I just read that and it threw me off. Then you want to change the color of your eyes. So what you're doing is you want to look less like the people that we fear. Because if it wasn't power in your look, they wouldn't try to get you to look different. If it wasn't power in the initial way you were when they met you, they wouldn't be so interested in you not being that way anymore. If the way you were when they met you wasn't powerful, they wouldn't care. But they understand when the sun is out and your hair is out, you are absorbing intelligence from God that they can't have. They can't get that. The sun eat them alive. The sun give you intelligence. They understand this. So when you put dead fake hair on top of your crown, you are closing off your connection to the divine. And why you think these sisters with all the weave in the hair, look at their behavior. All they doing is fighting, twerking, and doing drugs. Because you are cutting off your spiritual connection to the divine. You are closer to the divine than we are. Because you are a life bringer. You're a demigod. These things are important or they wouldn't want you to change them. Now, let me show you what happens when you don't understand these things. Look at how dark this sister was. And then she started wearing that blonde shit, and look what she became. Look how dark this sister was. Back on that blonde shit, and look what she became. Look how dark the sister was, and look what she became. Look how dark, and look what she became. And all of them got blonde in their hair. What's happening? What's happening to black women? That the richer and more famous they get, they go blonde, fake, light. Why? Why is BBL surgery so popular? And this is the sad part of the presentation. Why is the BBL butt so popular? The BBL butt is so popular because white women got tired of being ignored because their body wasn't even close to yours. They jogging in fitness classes, jazzercise, aerobics, yoga. They doing all this shit 4-5 days a week. And then you walk out of McDonald's and ain't been nowhere near the gym. Body like, pow. She working her ass off. And it's like, how? Why? How? So they had to convince you that wasn't right. And make you want to look like them. While the entire time, they're idolizing you. The BBL was so popular because everybody wanted the black woman body. And what happened? They convinced the black woman that she need to go get one. People are only getting them to look like how you look naturally. The fuck are y'all doing spending money on surgeries? Because you don't know who you are. Because you spend so much time with that weave on your head, blocking your conversation with the divine. So you and God not having a conversation y'all supposed to be having. You and the Sophia not having a conversation y'all supposed to be having. This is the problem. And now, hold on. Wait. So now, let's go to the other one. Now let's deal with this guy. The ruler. He got the crown, all of this jewelry. This says, I'm empty somewhere. And I don't want you to look at that. So look at all of this. So in the grand scheme of things, we are so far away from what really matters. And in our heart, we know it. So we have to do things to feel the worth that we should normally be feeling. So you'll take this brother and invest all of this money on just jewelry. You could look around the world and see. You see drug treatment centers, you see horrible neighborhoods, you see everything just horrible for us. And the warriors, the ones who are supposed to get us out of this, we're the protectors. And here's what the protectors are doing. We're not protecting no motherfucking body. Protecting our pride is what we're protecting. So we got to make sure that we have all of this unnecessary bullshit on all over the place so you don't ask me about me. Because when I show up to pick up her with the blonde wig and the fake lashes, she is going to love him. This look attracts that that look. So all of this shit to hide who I am goes perfect with all of this shit to hide who she is. Neither one of us want to deal with our reality. So we brought this to the forefront so we don't have to. Now, when she show up like that, the long lashes, the tight clothes, the hair whipped, and he got all the jewelry, we no longer care about anything other than the end of the night. When you meet like this, what you care about is the end of the night, going home, doing more drugs, and having sex. These two looks create a thought process that does not say longevity. And the reason why I could say this, people say, how you know? Because you can't be this blind and be thinking about longevity. I watched an interview from him recently. He don't sound that fucking bright, to be honest with you. Now, he been wearing all of this jewelry for eons. I seen Eric B. and Rakim for their first album cover, had these big old gold ropes on, so they had on 100,000 a piece worth of jewelry. 100,000 to put around your neck, but you don't got 100,000 to help your people. And it's not about anything other than we're not even thinking like that. We don't even care to think like that. That's why we were mad that Kendrick and Lamar and J. Cole didn't keep fighting. Because we're self-absorbed. So we care about what feels good and sounds good to us. We are self-absorbed. But now the problem is we look like this, but we have nothing. We have nothing to get us out of our current situation. And we know it in our heart. So this is a quitter stance. And I would have never said that before today because I just now understand it. When I take all of my money and I put it into this, designer fashions and jewelry, and I walk into the neighborhood I'm from, and I could see the drug addiction. I could see how fucked up it is. I could see some of the kids in the neighborhood ain't clean. I could see the trash on the ground. And I pull up, get out of an expensive ass car looking like that. And everybody in my neighborhood instantly think I'm somebody. Now, I may not think that, but everybody who sees me think that. So now I can hide behind that. And I don't have to become a better person. I don't have to sit around and figure out how can I change my circumstances. I don't have to look at my crackhead neighbor not watching her kids and think, damn, I wish I could do something. No, I don't got time for that. I can say, fuck that bitch, wipe my car off, and let everybody stare at my jewelry. And in those moments, I forget how fucked up my world is, and I convince myself that I'm bigger than what I am. Because see, all of this jewelry don't do a fucking thing for us when it's a white man got to give you permission to get on stage. You see how this thing works. You a slave to people, and none of them have told you, hey, look, Rick, you're making a lot of money, and I know the jewelry is your thing, but don't you think maybe you should invest something for that? Nobody around them is telling them that. There is no black man coming up to her saying, Queen, you a goddess, and to be honest with you, you look good enough to be my wife, but I'm going to keep it real with you. That blonde hair, that's not for us, Queen. I'll be honest with you, if I had walked up to you and you wasn't blind, I'd probably be on my knees proposing. And you may not even be my type or might not like me, but I'm just saying, goddess, you're special and you shouldn't be blind with great contacts in. Nobody gonna say that to her. Instead, he gonna say, she bad than a motherfucker. Go somewhere and they're gonna have sex. And then the entire basis of whatever relationship they do or don't have will be based off that first day, them diamonds, that weave, and how good the sex was or wasn't. How do you flourish as a people like that? You can't. It's impossible. Because watch this. The Black consumer, a $3 billion opportunity. In 2019, consumer expenditures by Black households total approximately $835 billion. Why are Black households spending so much money? Why are the poorest people in the country spending more than the wealthy people? We cannot not care about these things. They are so fucking important. Fashion designer demographics and statistics in the US. The most common ethnicity of fashion designers is white, 63%, followed by Hispanic or Latino, Asian, and then last on the list of fashion designers is Black people. Last on the list of fashion designing is Black people. That's interesting. Wait, that's really interesting. Where's the, did I, no, that's not it. Is that it? Huh. No, that's not it. That's not it. I must not have pulled it up yet. Hold on, y'all. I think I had another one. Let me get it. Because there is, hold on, let me see 1 second. I can't find it. I ain't gonna waste too much time on it. But okay, never mind. So, but let's look at this though. So we're saying, that's damn. I had one about how much we spend on designer products. I'm so bogus. I bet we could look it up though. How much we spend yearly on designer clothes. I had that statistic. So the bottom line is, we can look it up if y'all want to, but the bottom line is we spend the most on designer clothes. I found statistically what race spends the most on designer clothes is us by a long shot. How do we spend the most money on designer clothes and we make the least amount of designer clothes? I didn't even know Latino people made damn designer clothes. Who's a Latino clothing designer? I've never seen a Latino clothing designer in my life, and they're higher on the list than we are. And everything about Black America is designer this, designer that, high fashion. So let's get this straight. We spend $6 billion. Let's look at this one more time. $6 billion on hair weave. Now, out of $6 billion on hair weave, how much of that do y'all think is going to Black women? I would say if I said 3%, I'd be being generous. Which 3% of $6 billion is still way more money than we got. But it's like 180,000. Out of 6 billion. Out of 6 billion. The Black woman is roughly bringing in about 180,000. I don't even know if that's accurate. I feel like I'm tripping. But even if it is accurate, 180,000 out of 6 billion. Why don't, if we're going to be so invested in it, why don't we own it? See, these are things that have to matter to us. These things have to matter. And I'm going to show you why. let's go back to this other thing real quick. Now, we here. Beauty products, 9.4 billion. So we spending $6 billion on weave, 9.4 billion on beauty products, and it's growing. They estimated it to grow 14.4%. Oh no, it has grown 14% since 2000. Since 2000, it has grown 14%, a 32% increase. So now we got 9.4 billion on beauty products, 6 billion on weave. Total black consumers at 300 billion. In 2019, we spent almost $1 trillion. How the fuck is Black America spending $1 trillion on household shit? And now we're spending all of this money, and just like everything else, we own the least amount of the things that we spend the most on. We own the least amount for the things that we spend the most on. This is very important because someone has convinced you that this is natural. The black man is desirable when he looks like a fucking buffoon, when he has squandered all of his finances on his appearance. That attracts the black woman. And when the black woman has fake hair and is half naked, that attracts the black man. The primary problem with this is when this guy gets with this girl, they end up making children that like to twerk to this girl up here. See, we got our black babies twerking the Pound Town. And the sad part is almost all of Black America seen that video, and we still listen to this shit. That right there should have woke us up and say, you know what? If our 6-year-olds is twerking, singing Pound Town, we've failed them as a people. But instead, you know what y'all said? That's the parents. You took zero fucking responsibility as a nation. You slid the parents under the bus. You don't have a fucking clue what the situation of the mother is. It's possible she got a baby daddy that done left. She trying her hardest and she just don't know how to contain it. And because of this, the kids are just acting out. Now, I don't know if that, but I'm just saying. We had zero compassion for possibilities. We instantly said the parents are stupid, blah, 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 blah. But nobody did a fucking thing. Nobody said, because that was a thing where it was all over the internet with little kids singing Pound Town. I went in the living room one day. My 2-year-old grandson had his hand on the table, twerking, singing Pound Town. The question nobody asked is, why does that song appeal so much to younger children? Nobody asked We never asked the real fucking questions. On the last show we did, we touched on a little sorcery and black magic and things of that nature. Now, this had me thinking. Michael Jackson's music, like Beat It and Thriller, little kids go crazy when they hear that song, even still to this day. When we was kids, we was all Michael Jackson crazy. I had the little jacket with the zippers on it and the curl and everything. But even to this day, when you put on Thriller or Beat It, little kids just start getting buck. And we never thought to say, we start laughing and we turn the cameras on. We never asked, how come these songs that are completely not... Thriller is some monster spooky shit. Why do kids love Thriller so much? Pound Town is completely nasty. And the song, the part that the little girls were singing, they were singing it, hands on my thighs, hands on my thighs. Everything that come before and after that is nasty as fuck. Why are these little 6-year-old girls talking about putting their hands on their thighs? And nobody was wondering, is there something in this music that is attracting children who shouldn't care? Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be when the industry is full of people who like children? See, these are the things we're not thinking about because we are mentally enslaved. And we have become prostitutes for materialistic things. So here's the reason why you don't care that your daughter is twerking a Pound Town. Because when you look at Sexy Red, you see what you feel you could have been or could be or should be or something to, because she has the things that Black American women desire. She has the men, she has the money, she has this aura about her where she can kind of just say all kind of foul shit and make people overlook it. And that's where Black America is headed. So we like that. We like that ratchetness. It's like we can't look at this guy with a ring on every fucking finger and all of this shit and look at him and say, the only reason why a man would have all that is to hide something. No, our mind tell us, shit, he got it. He just living. You can't judge him. He probably ain't hiding nothing. That man's life probably beautiful. No. You don't do all of this and there's not something in your past that you don't want to talk about. Because this, every time you put it on, you can forget about whatever it is that you can't forget about. And you can step out the house and you can get her to completely ignore any deficiencies you may have. And now, this is where we go so wrong so many times. Because in this scenario, this is the most common scenario that you see every single night and weekend in Black America. This guy with this girl meet, sweep each other off their feet, then go somewhere and fuck. And that is called the beginning of a relationship. If the sex was good, they'll talk tomorrow. If it wasn't, then he'll brag, she'll talk down on them, and they'll never speak again. And this is acceptable behavior to meet random people, only like them for what's on the surface, have meaningless sex, and then judge each other according to the sex on if you're going to speak again. The reason why you do this is because you were breeders while you were slaves. She was there to pump out babies because babies are capital. You can sell the babies, You can do ceremonies with them, or you can raise them and put them in the field. Babies are a commodity. So they take the queen and sit her somewhere, and she sit there and wait as they send men back and forth. That was her purpose. They take a strapping young buck, what they call him, and his only purpose was to make babies. So it would be certain slaves on the plantation. He's fathered 20 children. He probably never met none of them. They got pictures of women on the plantation with 30-something kids. Take a picture with her on the plantation, she got like 30 kids. She just been breeding for later. So when in the DNA of your American history is just meaningless sex. So you still carry that ideology with you, because as long as you was having meaningless sex for massa, you wasn't in trouble. So our entire identities are wrapped up in meeting random people and having meaningless sex. And so since we're trying to attract random people, we have to look our best, because the people who know us know all our fucked up ass flaws and our shit like that. So when we go out, we got to look our best so the new people don't get a chance to do anything but look at the surface and decide if they want to have sex with us. Everybody's going out to the club to have sex or to do drugs. If you're not, it's rare. And I know a bunch of people are going to try to defend that. Tell somebody else. Tell your spouse. I know better. But this is all wrapped up into a thought process that we did not have. Because if you want to say we was here already, we was Native Americans. We was into nature, feathers, eagles, and shit like that. If you say we African, we was into nature, feathers, and shit like that. Same shit. Spiritualism and nature. So no background that you can readily identify with says this shit right here. Recessive traits that God gave you and buffoonery to hide insecurity. This is a creation. These two people you're looking at is symbolic of Black America. This is what they created. They created this because as long as you're in this form, you could never know who you really are. If you knew who you really were, you wouldn't dare entertain this. Because when I didn't know who I was, I entertained it. As soon as I found out, I don't touch it. I got a jewelry box upstairs full of jewelry. I wouldn't dare put that shit on. It has no point. What's the point? When you see me, I don't want you to look at my jewelry and decide how you feel about me. I want you to have a conversation with a king and then decide how you feel about me. When the queen meet a man, why would you have on tight pants so he could look at your physical features and decide how he feel about you? Why wouldn't you have on your garment, your sundress, your something that says, I'm a lady, you're going to watch what you say to me. Instead, when you come with the blonde hair and the long lashes, he know it's bitch and let's go get a drink, let's go smoke a blunt, and then all this old derogatory nothing shit that's going to lead to us fucking and never speaking again or just fucking. And now we're at a space where women are more interested in just fucking than men. We hit a space now where men are kind of like realizing the value and commitment. And now women are looking at men like they soft for wanting commitment. That's because when men thought women were soft for wanting commitment, that shit took its course. So now the queen, for protection purposes, has found out it's dangerous to let people know you care. So we have created a queen who doesn't want to know who she used to be, because who she used to be kept her hurt and alone. So you're dealing with two people, realistically, both are fucked up, hurt, and need each other. But the game they've been taught to play teaches them that they should never say that. Because if he stresses too much that how he feels about her, she'll see it as weakness and take advantage. And if she fall for him too soon, then he'll throw her on the back burner and add another one. How do we live like this for over a century and convince ourselves that this is the route to go? The only way that's possible is if somebody else is fueling this fantasy. Because remember, none of this is who you are. Stop saying stupid shit like, in Africa, we had jewelry. We was kings and queens. In Africa, you controlled the flow of the gold. You didn't buy it from your oppressors. So that's a completely different thing. The Egyptian pharaoh had a gold room. He didn't have to go buy it from anyone. He took his subjects and made them go digging. It was his. See, we make these comparisons because they hide insecurities, but we got them from somebody else, so they're not well thought through. When we say we used to be kings and queens, there's only one king and potentially a few queens per castle. So what was everybody else? Not royalty. A lot of things we're taught to say, think, and believe are birthed out of fear and insecurity and ignorance. It's time to get back to it's time to make it fashionable to be intelligent again. I realize I probably could go all night off this topic because there's still shit we didn't touch, but it's that time. So, couple things. This Saturday is the big day, and I'm telling y'all, woo! I just did one of my rounds today that's gonna be so fire. I don't know what he's gonna do. After I finish this round, he might look at the moderator and be like, I had something, but I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna go in. I promise. So Saturday at 7:00 Central Standard Time, I will be debating my brother Ronnie Martin on is the resurrection. I don't even think I got the flyer. If I do, I ain't got time to find it. Is there a historical resurrection of Jesus Christ? So basically, we're debating, is the resurrection of Jesus real, or was it some hootenanny? And y'all already know what I think, but I got to prove it. So what I think is irrelevant if I can't prove it. So I have to get there Saturday and convince y'all that I know what the hell I'm talking about, which I do. So it's going to be plenty of information. And shouts out to the brother Ronnie Martin, because he's been a good brother. He's been a good sport. And I think he's going to bring us some real competition. I know y'all ready to see me beat up on somebody who really know what they're talking about. I done had a couple good ones, but a lot of brothers I debate go off of instinct. Some of them don't have the space and the time to afford the research time like I do, which I get that. And so some of them just had great instincts and made the debate interesting. I want to see somebody who really has been on a scholarly thing, and I know he got sources and all that, so I want to see how he gonna come and see how we respond. So it's gonna be dope. So that Saturday, be there, bring a friend. We're gonna be here and Clubhouse. We're doing both, so we'll be here and on Clubhouse. Here for the visuals, Clubhouse for the crowd. Now, with that being said, y'all know what time it is. We on our way to Clubhouse now, Misinformation Nation and Clubhouse, so we can further this discussion that we are currently having. And then y'all can let me know what y'all think. You know what I mean? So that's what we doing. And like I said, we'll probably skip Thursday in Clubhouse because I want to take all this extra time for Saturday. Never mind. We'll deal with that in Clubhouse. Misinformation Nation Clubhouse. Y'all come in there and rock with me. And appreciate everybody for stopping through. Bye, I do. Knowledge is the only real power. Information is the only real currency. And the absence of both, or the application of both, is the route to divinity. I love y'all. I'm gone.